Welcome to the farm.
Welcome to the farm. I'm Justin, and almost 2 years ago we did some grading next to our barn here to fix a drainage issue. During the winter, all the snow melt would run down the hill, and because the ground was frozen, it wouldn't sink down into the ground, and it would create a river going right through our barn. So we ended up regrading next to the barn here on the uphill side, and we ended up putting in a pad and building that temporary garage. If you haven't seen that playlist, I will put a link to that in the description. You can check that out and see what I'm talking about. But as you can see, we never got around to getting it finished. It's all weeds, rocky dirt, all not good, not pretty. So we're going to be doing a series coming up here where we're going to work on getting this all cleaned up, get our topsoil graded out. We're going to rip out a bunch of these bushes and bad trees and stuff in here, make the big hill easier to mow. But before I do that, I need some good clean dirt that I can spread over the top. So behind me we have a little bit of topsoil piled up. We got this pile here, which was everything I scraped off before I did all the grading around the barn. And then I also have a little pile over here that I scraped off when I originally put the driveway into the barn. And then I got another little pile over there. The issue is this stuff has a lot of rocks and stone in it. So I want to get all those stones and rocks cleaned out. So I think today's project is we're going to try to build some kind of screener so I can come in here with my little excavator, pick up the dirt, dump it on the screener, let the dirt fall through, all the rocks roll off, and hopefully we'll get some clean topsoil out in the end. Let's see what we can come up with. So I have a very loose kind of plan on how I'm going to do this. I want to do this without costing me any money, so I'm using all stuff that I have laying around the barn. And we're going to use this tailgate from the trailer as our screening surface. And then I have this big cutoff from a street pole light that I'm going to cut down and make some legs out of. And then we're going to set this on top of the legs on an angle. So when I dump the dirt on it, the dirt should hopefully filter through and all the rocks should roll down. It's a nice small size, so it shouldn't be too big of rocks getting through. If there's a little bit of stone in there, not a big deal. I just don't want any big rocks that'll hit with like a lawnmower or something or make it hard to grade. So the big thing I need to figure out is how high am I going to make this screen? I want to make sure that I make it high enough that I have room to get underneath it to pull dirt out. I won't be able to do that with my front end loader on my tractor because this tailgate is about 4 foot by maybe 4.5 foot, and my loader bucket is 5 foot wide. So with the legs inside of it, there's no way I'm going to get my loader bucket in there. So I'll have to scrape it out with the excavator. So I want to make sure I have enough room to get in there and actually be able to drag the dirt out. At the same time, I don't want it too high where I can't get this to swing over the top and easily dump. So I have this almost at its full extended height. I got the boom all the way back and I got the stick almost all the way up. And I am at about 5 foot to the right here on the bucket. So I think I'm going to want my high side maybe 4.5 feet tall, and on my low side I'll make it 3.5 foot tall, and I'll have a 1 foot pitch over 4 feet, and hopefully that's going to be enough to let the rocks roll. I can always adjust it and put blocks to make the front end a little bit higher and make the pitch steeper, but I think I'm going to start with a 1 foot over 4 foot pitch. So I got my 4 legs cut now. I think what we're gonna do before we go set it up by the piles, I'm gonna get the gate off the trailer. We're gonna mock it up here and just see how everything fits, and then make sure the excavator can swing over and dump over and all that good stuff. Because it'll be a lot easier to cut it down here with the shop right here than it will be out by the dirt piles. All right, so we got our trailer gate on top of our posts. It's a little wobbly. Kind of figured it would be, but hopefully it'll hold up. I'm gonna try to level the ground over there a little bit better. Right now it's on very uneven ground. But let's go ahead and see if the excavator will reach over and dump easily without me coming in contact and hitting this thing. All right, so I think it's a little bit tall. I am going to, I think, cut a foot off each of these legs, shorten this down a foot, and I think it's gonna be a lot easier to dump over it. So I'm gonna do that, and then I will catch up with you over at the piles, and we'll get this thing set up. All right, so I got my screen set up now. It's a foot lower than it was, and I think it's a much better height, and it's a lot more stable. Took a couple boards, laid it across the back, so as I dump the dirt and the rocks fall off, they don't mix in the back. Hopefully that'll work, and then as it gets higher, I'll put more boards across the back, keep everything separate. All right, first scoop of dirt. Well, that was a complete fail, so I am going to have to figure out something else. I'm going to have to strengthen it up somehow. All right, so it took about an hour, hour and a half, got this thing re-supported, re-put together. It is a lot more sturdy. I kept this front support up high still so I can still get my bucket and my excavator down in there, pull the loose dirt out so I can keep just kind of working. But let's go ahead, give this a try, and see if this will hold up. It is working. It's obviously not as smooth as I had hoped it would be, but it's working okay. I'll have to get a rake or something. We'll just kind of work this around and break up the chunks, and I think it's going to work out pretty good. I gotta say, the stuff that's coming out is really nice and fine. Some small clumps, but I'm really, really happy with that. It's going to spread so nice and easy. It's going to take a little more physical labor than I was hoping to get the stuff to come through, but at least I don't have to shovel it all up here and screen it out. I can load up a couple scoops with the excavator, get out, clean it off, and then reload with the excavator and hopefully save my back a little bit. Let's get running some more and see how it goes. So I've been at this for about 20 minutes or so now. Not overly long, and I think I got maybe about half this area already full. It's not a very big area, it's not a lot of dirt, but it's going to be really, really easy to work with, and I don't have to worry about bigger rocks when I mow over this once I plant grass. So I'm just going to keep at this for a while, and I'll catch up with you after I've done a bunch. So it's been about another hour and 10 minutes, so it took me about an hour and a half to fill my strainer up. I am actually touching the grate up on top here, and it looks really good, really nice stuff. I'm really happy with how it's working. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna be able to dig anything out with the excavator or my tractor because it's just too small to work in here, so I probably have to hand shovel this into our gator or whatever I'm gonna use to haul it to the final location. That's okay. A little bit of digging doesn't hurt anybody. Well, hopefully you guys found this interesting. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.